Thank you for joining us. My name is Kathy Hamel, and I serve as the president of Gilchrist. Steps of Hope is a chance to acknowledge our losses, seek healing, and work together to find the courage to hope again. This past year, our hope has been challenged in near insurmountable ways. Our losses during the pandemic came on the backdrop of not having a chance to find comfort in the arms of friends and loved ones. Just when we needed each other the most, we were asked to maintain physical and social distance. Some of us lost a parent, a grandparent, a sibling, or a child, a treasured friend, or perhaps a colleague. Many of us experienced multiple losses. Some had only a limited amount of time at the bedside of their loved ones. Others did not have a chance to say goodbye at all. The pain surrounding all of these circumstances adds to the trauma of our losses. Although grief is intensely personal, we can find comfort in knowing that we are not alone. Hope is often found by sharing special moments and conversations with others who understand. Steps of Hope was created to bring anyone who is grieving together to find support in a community of others while experiencing how time and nature supports our healing. For some of you, your grief is fresh and raw. For others, your loss is more distant, yet no less painful. Regardless of your path here this weekend, please know love unites us. You are not alone. Let us focus on that love and the memories we shared of our loved ones. May these treasured memories sustain us and fill our hearts with healing. I would especially like to thank the Gilchrist Counseling and Support Team and our volunteers who thoughtfully put together this year's Steps of Hope program. While we know we cannot force the feeling of hope, because everyone experiences hope differently, the steps we take together this weekend come with a backdrop of the acknowledgement of loss and a community of support amongst the beauty of nature. I hope your time spent outside this weekend offers you peace that will sustain you in the weeks and months ahead. And I hope we can join together again in person next year. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Hilary Harrington, one of the grief counselors here at Gilchrist. I'd like to take a few moments to tell you a bit about how and why Steps of Hope began. In 2014, as we looked to update and expand our grief services to the community, we wanted to find a new way to honor loved ones beyond a traditional memorial service. We decided to create an event that moved the healing experience outside, to incorporate nature as a companion in the grief journey while maintaining the healing aspects of a traditional mourning ritual. Our ultimate goal was to provide a time for reflection and remembrance, and an opportunity to hold a space for peace amidst grief. Traditionally, Steps of Hope incorporates a mindful walk along a nature trail to invite time away from the burdens in our minds and the ache in our hearts. Being present with each other in nature and becoming a part of something that is bigger than our grief offers a sense of calm during a time of deep pain and sadness. Saying the names of our loved ones and seeing their photos on memory badges and flags brings great comfort. Each year, beautiful music from our talented Gilchrist music therapist reinforces hope and healing. Specially selected readings and reflections center on the importance of finding ways to stay connected with loved ones through continuing bonds. Each event culminates in a butterfly release. The mesmerizing beauty and graceful flight of the butterflies symbolize the hope that we too can transform in our grief. Watching them fly and at times sit on a shoulder or hand often inspires shared stories of meaningful signs and symbols. Some even feel as if their loved one has stopped by to say hello. Each year, Steps of Hope participants say that coming together has helped them feel comfort and some relief. The invitation to not only continue their grief work, but feel transformation in the journey is a powerful experience. We hope that the experience continues to help you feel renewed and peaceful. As you begin your journey this weekend, I'd like to leave you with words from Thich Nhat Hanh. The possibility of peace is all around us, in the world and in nature. Peace is also within us, in our bodies and our spirits. The act of walking will water the seeds of peace that are already there inside us. Our mindful steps will cultivate peace in every single moment.
Hello, my name is Donna Naslin, and I'm one of the bereavement volunteers here at Gilchrist. Some of you may have taken a yoga for grief class or a breathing workshop with me. But today, I want to talk with you about the healing power of nature and why it's so helpful to spend time outside, especially when we're grieving. Grief is a tender, universal human experience that can feel overwhelming. It's a roller coaster ride of emotions, challenges, and changes, and it's important to take good care of ourselves when we're grieving. An often overlooked but wonderful tool for healing and self-care is spending time in nature. And that's why we're encouraging you to take a walk outside this weekend as part of Gilchrist's 2021 Steps of Hope. So what's so special about the great outdoors? Why is nature healing? And the answer is simple. Being outside makes us feel better, and when we are grieving, finding ways to feel better is so important. Nature helps us feel good for a variety of reasons. We all know that trees and plants give us oxygen, and when we're grieving, we don't always breathe properly. We're tight, we're tense, we're often holding our breath. So we could use a little boost of oxygen. Breathing fresh air can feel wonderful, especially after the restrictions around COVID that we've all endured. Nature is also restorative because it feeds our senses. Something magical happens when our senses are engaged. First, we see nature. We take it in with our eyes, and nature can be beautiful. It's filled with colors, shapes, patterns that relax and calm our mind. And our brain loves looking at vistas, trees, butterflies, squirrels. The beauty of nature can nourish our spirit and lift our mood. And that's very important when we're grieving and missing our loved ones. We hear nature, and the sounds are usually soothing, maybe not so much with the cicadas this year, but birds singing, the gentle patter of rain, the sound of wind in the trees, cascading brook. All of these sounds calm the central nervous system and give us a sense of peace and well-being. The things we smell in nature are very powerful because our nose is a direct pathway to our brain. Our sense of smell can evoke powerful memories. And nature, it's the original form of aromatherapy. Nature is grounding. We connect with nature through our sense of touch. Walking outside with our feet on the ground can make us feel centered and stable. And being grounded is important because it helps us to feel calmer, peaceful, more focused and steady. It's so easy to become scattered when we're grieving. Our lives are turned upside down and everything seems foreign. We feel different. Feeling grounded can help us reconnect with our sense of self, and it can also help us connect to the people we are missing. Nature helps us gain perspective and brings us into the moment. The mind becomes quiet. We may daydream, relax, remember, reflect. Our rational thinking mind takes a break, and this helps us to solve problems in a different way, allowing us to process our grief and find new meaning and purpose. Albert Einstein was known for taking long walks in the woods to help clear his mind and work out scientific problems. He wrote, "Look deep, deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better." Being outside helps us to connect to something larger than ourselves. We become aware of the cycles, the seasons, and rhythms of nature. And there can be something hopeful and reassuring about the sunrise, the moon, the stars, or a tree that's been standing for hundreds of years. We often feel alone and isolated in our grief, so tapping into something larger than ourselves can be comforting. There's a quote I love written by the author Mark Liebenow. He found hiking and nature to be helpful after the death of his wife. And he wrote, "In those early days when I felt battered by grief, hiking to the top of a mountain gave me a jolt of energy. Looking over hundreds of miles of wilderness, I felt connected to something more powerful than death." So nature really does have a lot to offer us in terms of well-being and self-care. And I don't mean to suggest that spending time outside is going to take away your grief or fast forward you through it. Grief is a process that unfolds in its own way and time, and it is unique to everyone. But nature can be a wonderful tool to help you feel better as you grieve. I also want to add that spending time in nature does not mean you have to hike the Himalayas. You can sit on your porch or your front steps or sit by an open window with a cat on your lap. Just like there's no right or wrong way to grieve, there's no right or wrong way to be in nature. So explore nature at your own pace and in your own way. Thank you for taking the time to be here today. I hope you have a beautiful walk this weekend to honor the memory of your loved ones. And I hope you will continue to spend time outside because it really is healing. I leave you with the exceptional words of Maya Angelou. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise.
My name is Wayman Scott, and I'm a chaplain and grief counselor at Gilchrist. I am honored to be joining you as we remember all those whom we have loved and lost. We are grateful for your presence and generosity of spirit. Let us ease the burden of our grief by holding each other in our hearts as we lead one another to comfort and solace. We ask the following. For those who have cared for and supported loved ones in the final weeks and moments of life, may they feel the support from others and one day be able to step in hope again. For friends and families who have experienced loss, we ask that they be supported in their grief and find comfort even amid the tears. We ask that they may one day be able to step in hope again. For our way of life, when we see an empty seat on the sofa, the porch, or dining room table, we acknowledge the feeling of absence of a friend, an aunt, an uncle, parents, a grandparent, sisters, brothers, and children. We ask that as we heal, we discover how our connections remain with these loved ones. As we continue our traditions and develop new ones, we are able to move forward with them in our hearts. May we do this now and one day step in hope again. For our world that has seen great pain and turmoil, may our healing add to the healing of those around us so that others may find comfort, relief, and peace. May we know each step of hope wherever we go. We ask for renewal. Just as the caterpillar comes apart and changes, it is transformed and renewed with wings. We ask that we be renewed and be able to one day step in hope again.
Sometimes in our lives we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that
Hello again. I just wanted to remind you of a few things before you walk this weekend. If possible, turn off your devices so you're not distracted by that pesky thing called technology. Remember to bring water, some sunscreen, maybe a bit of bug spray, wear comfortable shoes. Slow down and take your time when you walk. Try not to make this an aerobic walk, okay? Exercise is great, but today we want you to walk mindfully and engage all of your senses. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Take time to notice what you see, hear, smell, and feel. And to help you slow down and land in the moment and in your body, I'd like to teach you a simple, slow, deep breathing technique that you could do before your walk if you want. But let's practice it a little bit so you get a sense of what that slow, deep breath feels like. First, find a comfortable seat. Give everything a little wiggle and a shake, a little stretch, whatever feels good for you. Place your hands comfortably in your lap. Find your feet. Make sure they're firmly planted on the ground. Really feel that earth underneath those feet. Relax your shoulders, roll them back and down. Give your neck a little side to side. We hold a lot of tension in our neck and face, especially when we're grieving. So you can breathe through your nose or your mouth, whatever feels comfortable as we do this breathing exercise. Mainly, don't rush your inhale and exhale. Let it build slowly, like you're slowly filling a balloon with air and then slowly letting the air out. The inhale is an opening, and the exhale is a gently floating back to the navel. So when you inhale, you really soften your belly and let it float forward. And when you exhale, you let your belly float gently back to the navel. So, what I'd like to do is give you the opportunity to feel what a slow, deep breath feels like. And to do that, I'm going to count for you. And we're going to use a count of 4. And I'll cue you by saying, inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to try 4 breaths or so with that count. All right? So settle in, and we go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. And just let your breathing return to normal. And I just want you to take the time to notice. How did that feel? Did it feel rushed? If it felt rushed, then slow your breath down. You can slow it to a count of 3 or even a count of 2. And maybe it felt like it wasn't long enough, so you can make your count 5 or even 6. The main thing is you keep your breath, the inhale and the exhale equally. So what I would suggest is before you go on your walk, just take a moment, 4 or 5 breaths, 30 seconds, a minute tops, and find your own rhythm and pace. Do that slow, deep breathing. It will help you feel more centered, and it will set the stage for a mindful walk. When you're walking, allow memories and emotions to emerge. You're grieving. You might feel sad. If you cry, let that happen. Tears are healing, tears are helpful. So bring some Kleenex along and remember as you walk to breathe. When you return from your walk, you could do some slow, deep breathing again. But the main thing I want you to know that this is a tool. So whenever you're feeling a little scattered, you need to center yourself. Take a moment or two to sit and do that slow, deep breathing. Thank you so much for being here today, and I really hope you have a beautiful walk this weekend. Don't forget to breathe.
Hello everyone, I'm Robin Contino, Director of Grief Counseling at Gilchrist. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us for Steps of Hope this weekend. Although we're not together as we usually are for this event, we're fortunate that this year's format allows us to reach a much wider audience. We're pleased to provide a forum for you to share your experiences with anyone, anywhere, and not just for an hour or two, but for the entire weekend and beyond. I greatly encourage you to share your Steps of Hope experiences on our Gilchrist Grief Services Facebook page throughout the weekend. The more we share, the more we can continue to find hope and healing together. You can share images from your walk, the names of your loved ones, your thoughts, special quotes, or anything else that is meaningful to you about your Steps of Hope experience. Please also feel free to share this video with friends and family so that as many people as possible can participate. It's truly a gift to join together in community, even with those outside of our region, to grieve the loss of someone, something, some place, or some time of life. I hope all of you experience the healing power of nature this weekend as you remember and honor loved ones you may have lost throughout your life. May you come away with the knowledge that you're truly never alone. Thank you so much for sharing your Steps of Hope journey with us. Please know we're always here for you. I wish you continued healing, hope, and peace.